Right, okay guys, welcome to another new feature. I mean, this channel of mine needs a new feature like my wife needs a new pair of shoes, but anyway, that's for another day. This is called, what have I called it? Fight of the Clones, and basically what I'm going to be doing here is looking at various clones of a particular arcade game. I'm not comparing it to the arcade, I'm just basically playing them all and seeing what's probably the best clone out there. Now I'm only going to focus on one particular computer per video. So kicking things off are Donkey Kong clones on the Commodore 64. I'm just laughing at that. It looks like the guy's actually sweeping the floor. Yeah, this is Crazy Kong and this is by Supersoft. I do remember playing this one when I did They Did What video last, it was earlier this year actually, I think it was. Graphically wise, it's not half bad. The donkey looks like he's got a jacket on, he's got a, what do you call it, a body warmer on. You can see his arm is completely different colour from the rest of his body. Your girlfriend looks more like some kind of Japanese ninja. Yeah, and you look like the little character from Wreck-It Ralph. I like this sort of the sound effects. It's very bassy. But yeah, this isn't actually that bad. It certainly looks like Donkey Kong. Hooray! Let's see what level 2 looks like. Ah, he's got the right, at least Donkey Kong's got the right coloured armour. He must have taken off his, not armour, right coloured skin. He's obviously removed his said body warmer. So yeah, this looks fairly authentic and it plays not too bad. So that is Crazy Kong and that is by Supersoft. Let's batter on. Right, next up is it was an official conversion by Ocean Software. Now, I actually thought that there had been an original version of Kong made by Ocean, but looking at my looking online, it seems that Kong was only released on the ZX Spectrum. It didn't actually get released in the Commodore 64, but that was, yeah, the Kong in the Spectrum was one of the original games by Ocean, and then a few years later Ocean got the official license and they re-released, or they didn't re-release, they released Donkey Kong for all 8 bits. Now I do know that the Amstrad one apparently is, according to Stuart Campbell, the best ever home conversion of Donkey Kong bar none, so we'll need to take a look at that at some point. But yeah, this, you can see here, it's pretty damned authentic. It looks like the arcade. It's got the sort of aspect ratio correct. It's got a little intro like that as well. So this is a rather spiffing version. The only problem for me, I think, and like most people back in 1986, we had kind of moved on at that point. We weren't really wanting Donkey Kong games. We were wanting 3D stuff like Elite. We were wanting Drop Zone. We weren't wanting conversions of what would be, you know, 3-4 year old arcade games. So I think this game probably arrived slightly too late, which is a shame because it's an absolutely fantastic version of the game. And at least, what's the name of the girl you're rescuing? I can't remember the name of her. At least she looks like a girl, not like most of the versions. Some of them, she looks absolutely horrendous. Alright, so this is following the Japanese version of Donkey Kong. Interestingly, in the this version, I'll start again. The version of Donkey Kong released in Japan had this level as the second level, but in all other areas of the world it was the girders one. Don't know why they changed that. Obviously some good reason, but yeah, this is a really good version of that there Donkey Kong for the C64. Yep, so from one version to the next. Now this was the one I played back in the day. This was an official version released by, I didn't even catch that, was it Atari? I didn't actually notice, I think it might be an Atari. This was the one that I played, and it is a damned fine version. The only thing you can see, oops, there's a little glitch with the joystick there. The only thing you'll notice is they've gone for the full widescreen, so it looks kind of stretched horizontally, whereas Donkey Kong should be a vertical kind of game. Obviously, the previous version we looked at, Ocean did actually take that on board and they actually made it more vertical. But this one plays really well and it looks the part as well. I think this was released in cartridge actually. But this is a really playable version. Brilliant one. Now you can probably tell we're getting the good versions out the way early because there's a few stinkers to follow. Now I think I'm going to actually call this feature Attack of the Clones, because that will get people clicking on it, obviously. Yeah, Attack of the Clones Donkey Kong, that's got quite a good ring to it, that's what I'm going to call this. Like I said, I've got more features than a car, a top of the range Ford Fiesta. The problem with all the different features that I have is trying to remember the name of all the damn things. Tiny little glitch in Mario I notice when he's running there, but I never noticed that on the original hardware back in the day. Oops, a daisy. Yeah, anyway, that is a version by Atari. That is another cracking version. Right, next up is Kong by Analog Software. Now, this is one of my most fondly remembered games because I hadn't long actually got my Commodore 64, and one of my mates came up to the house with a C90 bursting full of games, and this was one of them. Now, he was going to give me a copy of the game, of the tape, but then he decided he had to go home for his dinner and we didn't have time to do it, which I was gutted about. So what I got him to do was we loaded this game, and I then went on to leave the C64 switched on for about 2 days solid so I could play the game. It basically meant I played it at night time, I went to my bed, went to school, came back, and then I played it. It's not recommended that you do that, but yeah, yeah, it's a basic looking game now, but compared to what I had, graphically this game just looked so much better. And it actually plays pretty well. It's quite difficult to jump over barrels, but graphically wise it's really good. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Mario's nose, and he's also got a bit grayer looking as well. Perhaps it's based on me, I don't know. But yeah, Analog always put out some really good arcade conversions. You'll see there the barrels also defy gravity. I mean the girders are not angled at all, and yet they still seem to be rolling downhill, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but really good version. All the levels are there. It plays well. It is difficult, but it was one of the first ones, and yeah, for the reasons I've mentioned, that is why I'll always enjoy this. So that is Kong, and that is by Analog Software. Right, this next one, what is this one called? I've actually named the files. This is called Kong by Keypunch Software. This is minimalistic gaming at its very best. You, instead of playing Mario, you play the part of a club sign, and it looks like it looks like Kong is, he's 10-pin bowling. You can see him up at the very top there. Now, your ears are not mistaking you, there appears to be a complete lack of any sound. Congratulations, congrad. Yeah, the guy can't even spell. Yeah, that is obviously a basic version. The fact it's even running in basic is quite impressive. That was Kong by Keypunch Software. I told you I was include them all. Right, next one, Congo Kong by Victory Software. Now, oddly, I could not. Whoa, that is a lot of instructions. I tried different emulators to get this game to work, and each emulator I tried, it doesn't actually work. As you'll soon see, the character is completely hey me, that's a lot for you to take in. Yeah, as you can not see, your character is invisible, so I'm really not too sure what's going on there. I'm not quite sure what's going on with your girlfriend either. She looks like some kind of space alien. Yeah, I don't know why this doesn't work, because I've tried different emulators, and it's got the famous Death March tune, which virtually every game released in 1982, 1983 featured. So yeah, I can't really tell you. I mean, the movement's smooth enough, but I'm presuming it's not a bug and it's just down to the emulator. So anyway, that is Victory Software's version of Kong. This next one, Crazy Kong. This game is indeed crazy. This was the very first game I ever loaded on my Commodore 64. I bought this plus another game called Frogger from a place called Wilco. So this was the very first game I ever got to see on the Commodore 64, and even back in 1983 I was pretty disappointed at how god awful this is. Now, I'll demonstrate in a second. When you pick up the hammer normally in Donkey Kong you can roughly guess how long the hammer's going to last. In this one it can last anywhere from like a minute to half a second. And you can also go up ladders with the hammer, which you can't do in Donkey Kong. Also, they're gravity defying barrels, because they're rolling on a completely flat surface. You look absolutely nothing. Yeah, you can also jump. You can also jump when you've got the hammer. So they've completely thrown out any game rules of Donkey Kong and did their own thing. There also appears to be a complete lack of any girlfriend, so I'm really not quite sure why. I'm going to use the term Mario is even attempting to get to the top here. You see there, the hammer lasted what, about 10 seconds if that? So yeah, this is probably the worst version of Donkey Kong that I've ever played. It's got a certain appeal about it because it's so damned awful, plus the fact it was the first game I ever played and owned on any computer system, you know, so and you also explode when you get hit with a barrel, or possibly that is a barrel exploding rather than yourself. But yeah, it's a bit rubbish. I don't think, no, I tell you what, I think I once got to the second level, I think, and I'm sure it's not any better than this one. Yeah, and you're also collecting gems, and it's got that most awful sound effect as well. So that is Crazy Kong by Interceptor Software. Now, from the worst to the best, this one here, Donkey Kong, this was released last year, I think it was 2016, or was it 2017? I'm not exactly sure, by a company, by a group called Orcs. Now this is an absolute spiffing version of the game. It's really, they've studied the arcade one. The only thing I would say that Mario doesn't look anything like that, so the Mario sprite's a bit naff. Oh no, I can see what they're doing here. Yeah, sound effects, graphics, playability. This is excellent. It's maybe a bit cheeky to include this one because, well, it's not a comparison. It's just looking at clones of Donkey Kong. So no, this game deserves to be in this list because at the end of the day it's still a release on the Commodore 64. But you can see there the score, the bonus, it all looks very, very faithful to the arcade one. I've deliberately not bothered showing the arcade one because when I compare arcade versions with home versions, that would come under my Arcade Perfect, my R series, but this is purely just looking at clones of the game. Though I suppose technically the Donkey Kong by Nintendo is an official release, but you know what I mean. it just goes to show, I mean, the game before is running on the same hardware. It shows you, you know, just what is possible. You know, different versions, and yet it's on the same hardware. Has Donkey Kong got a growth in the top of his head? Or is that my girlfriend? Possibly, I'm not quite sure. You can see this thing moving at the top of his head. But yeah, if we had games like this back in the 80s, you know, you would have been quite happy to retain your 8-bit machines rather than moving up to 16-bit, because, you know, these games are just great. And if you've never checked out the sort of more recent releases of like Commando and Ghosts and Goblins, do yourself a favour and go and check them out. They're amazing, they really are. I mean, sound-wise, they've absolutely nailed it. You could be forgiven thinking this was actually the arcade one you're playing. So anyway guys, listen, I hope you've enjoyed this first episode of this series, Attack of the Clones. Let me know what you think of it, if you think it's any good or not, and also if there's a game you want to see me feature in this, just put your comments below. Hey, there's my girlfriend here. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and once again thank you very much for watching.